Hello guys, maybe I'm getting too much of these public announcement sort of videos, but I want to go back to some of my earlier videos that I did, some reviews, some stuff that I bought and some stuff that I get, which I might not recommend anymore because yeah, I've been using them for a couple of months and they don't turn out to be so good as I expected them. Let's start with the easier ones. And actually, let's start with something which is, it's not necessarily a would not recommend one. It's this, yeah, rechargeable USB light, not USB, it's work light. So it is working fine, but I think what I also mentioned in the video previously is that I think it's maybe good for about an hour. So the battery would probably last you about an hour. And the only annoying thing in this, and also it's with the other light, is that as the battery depletes, it just loses brightness continuously. So if you are not charging it all the time, and then you just want to use it for, let's say, half an hour and a half an hour next day, then you would like, oh, why is it so dim? And say, oh, okay, because the battery is running flat. So it's, I mean, that's how it works. I don't think it has any boost circuitry, probably just something which monitors the LiPo battery just to make sure it's not undercharged or overcharged, but it doesn't do anything like that. So as the temperature drops, the brightness also drops. But still, it works fine. I mean, I'm still using this. I just have to be, you know, mindful that I only use it for, well, I have about like probably an hour of usable life before it gets dimmer. And I just have to charge it all the time. Well, I put it on charge after it finishes, but it charges up fairly quickly. So it's not really a time issue. It's just like, you know, how you manage it. But it's still small. It fits into like small spaces. There is a magnetic base. So I'm still happy with it, but you know, keep this in mind. And I have this big work light as well. And this is working fine. It has two settings. So my main issue with this is the charge port, which is here, micro USB. So this broke. And it broke after a couple of months of me using this. And yeah, maybe I wasn't paying attention as I was, you know, wiggling the USB cable or I pulled it out too quickly or something like that. But yeah, it came off and of course it wasn't charging. So I had to take the whole thing apart. I had to buy an SMD micro USB socket and I was able to fix it. It wasn't really easy because I don't really have a lot of experience with these small, you know, connectors, but it worked and it's working again. But the issue with this is, you know, these are the type of products where they have no foresight of how this is going to get fixed if it ever breaks. As you can see, there is a screw. I mean, you have to take apart the whole thing. So that I had to take apart this in order to like disassemble this and then remove the screws here. Annoyingly, there is a screw under this magnet. So you have to like, I had to break the case to pry the magnet apart in order to access the screw so I can separate the two halves together. And of course, then when you put it back, well, this magnet is not going to stay in place. So this is now glued in, which means that if it breaks again, I probably have to break the plastic even more in order to get to the screw again to just disassemble it. I mean, yeah, and now I have to replace this screw because this was quite a destructive disassembly. So now it's, I mean, I have to cut this part and then probably grind it so it's not in the way. It's still working as it was working originally, but like, man, the way, I mean, why did you put a screw here? There was already a screw here. Why there was a need for an additional one? It's like, it was designed not to be serviceable. So that's really annoying. Other than that, it works fine. You know, it has the replaceable batteries. So if the batteries would die, you can just replace it with an 18650. And it is still strong. Probably the only other thing I would say is that because the battery and everything is on the top, it is top heavy. So it needs a fairly, you know, like a good surface to mount it on with these magnets. Otherwise, it would just fall over. But I'm still using it. It's fine. Again, same thing with the charging time and the brightness. because it has bigger battery, it just lasts longer. And also, like, you know, you have these magnets. There are screws under these magnets. So these magnets are hold on by glue. Well, I mean, what else would it be? So sometimes these magnets just stay on the metal surface that I clip it on. So it's like, oh, why is it not working here? Oh, because my magnet is over there. So just, you know, put it on and then glue it back in. So yeah, I guess you get what you pay for. And finally, the big ticket item is this InKee Falcon Plus gimbal, and this is dead. But it's not the gimbal which is dead, but the battery. So if I press it, nothing happens. But if I would connect the USB-C, which I don't have here, then it works just fine. So two things could have happened. Is either maybe there is a broken solder joint from the battery, or maybe the battery has depleted so much that the charging circuit is not willing to charge it. So if I plug it in, then it starts blinking the LEDs like it's doing some sort of charging, but if I leave it for a whole day, nothing really happens. It's still dead, so it doesn't respond to anything. As soon as I connect the power, everything works. So it's not a mechanical thing, it's either something with the battery or the charging circuit or the solder joint. And I mean, I contacted InKee and they seem to be playing dumb in terms of responses, like, oh, can you make a video? Can you, you know, put it on a like a laptop USB so it charges on a low current? And then, okay, we are going to talk with our engineer and we are going to come back to you, and they never did. So if you buy this with your own money, I would probably say that test it, use it quite a lot in the beginning, just make sure that it, you know, it works. And if you see any issues, just, you know, return it and get your money back. And I'm pretty sure that if it works, then it would just work. So my plan is to disassemble it. I've never disassembled anything like this. I don't think it's going to be easy. I can see that there are some screws here, and I tried to remove that, but then it was more complication inside, so I just stopped because I didn't have the time. And of course, this is not something that is sold in, you know, tens of thousands. So nobody made a review video of how to disassemble one of these. So I think it's going to be a bigger project, but I'm pretty sure I would be able to, well, okay, maybe not. But I'm hoping that I would be able to get to the bottom of it, maybe just notice if there is a broken solder joint, or just recharge the battery externally if it has depleted beyond, or so like below like 3.2 volts, which usually the cutoff voltage for a lithium charger circuit. But yeah, it was a nice thing and I would have used it more. So I definitely need to fix it, because I think I would like to use it even more. But it's just a bummer. And actually there was another guy who commented on my original review video saying that he also had issues. I mean, he's just died. It wasn't like a charging thing, so he returned it because he bought it on Amazon and he got the money back. But you know, it's a good piece of kit if you need a gimbal. It was working fine. I like the features, but I don't know if it's a software issue or a build quality or a QA issue. But I'm the second person I know that happened, you know, something happened with it. So I thought I'd share, so you know that you can make a decision before you purchase something like this. So I guess that will be all. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next video.